So you can see I've got my prepped tumbler, half white, half green, to match my glitter colors. I'm placing my decal on here to line up my tape to tape off the portion where I will be applying alcohol ink. This is the Scotch Magic Tape. It will not allow alcohol ink to leak underneath of it as long as there's not a seam, which is very important. I do not want to get the ink on the top half of that white paint because my white glitter may not cover it. You'll see here that I'm taping down the green as well. Not as concerned about ink leaking on the green paint as you'll see it does with my seams here. It's getting covered in dark green glitter. It's not going to show through, so I'm not concerned about it. If you were doing a light color, you would want to do a seamless piece of tape here. Now I'm just prepping my workstation. I am shaking my inks. I'm lining them up in color orders that I think will blend well together. The biggest challenge in painting a cup like this is making sure your inks don't muddy up. And that's why I place mine in order of colors that will tend to blend together and make pretty colors versus brown. I also get several cups of alcohol to clean my brushes and paper towel to dab my brushes in. You don't want to use too much alcohol because it will drip all over your cup, but you do need some to get movement and blending of your colors. I like to start with my yellow first in this color scheme. It is the lightest, it is the most likely to turn muddy, and I just want to make sure I have a nice bright spot of just yellow before I apply any other colors. What I'm doing here is I am dabbing, I have my damp paintbrush with a little bit of alcohol on it, and I'm just moving the paint around and gently blowing it with my mouth. I don't like to use a straw. It's just one more thing I've got to do. I feel like I spit all over my cup if I've got a straw, so I just gently use my mouth. I keep applying colors and blending them with alcohol on a brush and cleaning and dabbing my brush in between, just to form new colors, to get some movement and different patterns. And I do this all the way around the cup. You can see I've got a couple big runs there. I'm not concerned about them. They're within my alcohol ink area. I can fix them later with additional colors and a little alcohol on my brush to blend them in. They aren't a concern to me. You will see here though in a moment that I do get a little dab of ink on my white area, and I just dabbed my finger in clean alcohol and wiped it right off with a paper towel. The longer you let that sit though, the harder it will be to get completely out. And as I'm putting white glitter on that upper portion, I definitely want to make sure I don't have any ink there. You'll see I pick up the yellow paintbrush and put it down and grab the red one. I keep that yellow brush just for my yellow ink, just because as soon as it's contaminated with something else, it just doesn't give you that bright yellow ink anymore. I always make sure here to blend my borders with each other for each color. It's just a little bit of alcohol on your brush, but it creates new colors and it makes it less of a harsh transition, and I just feel like it generally looks better. So especially with such a light color to a dark color, I make sure to go back with a little alcohol on my brush and just try to blend them together. So here you can see where I had a big drip that I'm covering up by placing alcohol ink over it and blending it in with alcohol on my brush. Throughout this whole process, I'm really being careful about my color placement and which colors I'm placing next to each other, just to make sure I'm getting good blends and not turning my inks brown. When I paint the bottom, I make sure to carry over the same colors from the edge so that it looks seamless. You can see that burgundy ink has a really harsh edge. Instead of taking alcohol to blend it, I actually added some more blue ink to make some new colors and just give it a little more personality in that area. So I found another little spot of alcohol that I cleaned up here. Sorry, it's a little off camera. But I'm also about to peel my tape, and you'll see it's very obvious where there were seams where the ink leaked through, and I'll show you that in a little bit better at the end here. But what's most important is that top seam of tape that separates the white paint from the ink. You will see that it's very clean because it didn't have any seams.